This is Alan with Toon Army Baltimore. A gooner and a toffee walk into a bar. Decided to do a shit football podcast. You're listening to the DU Football Show.
He had an interesting midweek.
He did.
That was very interesting for them. Let's
I
say
found it quite enjoyable, to be honest.
an extended game, perhaps. Let's try not to make it. Let's not try to make this extended. Let's start the show.
Born in the land of Bowie, Maryland. Bred to be a fan of fucking Everton. Punch you in the eye and drink your rye. Sam Houston.
Sam Houston?
Arsenal fans have another Sam. Right day, the fucking Gooner Graham. Snub of my lord. Look straight in shorts. Sam Graham, hey.
Sam Graham.
Fucking United! Fucking United!
Hello and welcome to the DU Football Show, a completely biased recap of the English Premier League as told by two common American schmucks. I am your host, Sam Houston, and over there, he don't use no product. It's only Vaseline. My co-host, Mr. Samuel Graham. I guarantee you do not know that reference.
No, but I also don't use Vaseline either. It's just straight skin to skin. You know what I mean?
She don't use jelly. She uses Vaseline. It's a song. It's okay. Don't worry about it. It's perfectly all right.
Was it made before I was born?
No, you were actually born during the time. It's in the 90s. So you were alive.
Okay. I was just asking. I just didn't know. Because sometimes you say a lot of shit of things that happened before my young, attractive self was born.
We're recording at the DU Public House just outside the nation's capital. You can check us out on all podcast platforms. Please be sure to rate, subscribe, and review. Share with a footballing friend. Should you want to chat with us, there is many ways that you can. Hey, damn, you're so pretty, Johnny Bravo. Why don't you tell everybody how they can get in touch with us?
All right, well, after you do the monkey, you would hit us up at DU Football Show on all the social medias and dufootballshow@gmail.com to get in touch via email.
Damn, he's pretty, and he gets references too. How about that? Look at that.
Well, that was a cartoon in the 90s, which I would have been just prime age to watch.
Yeah, but it was at nighttime.
Why do you think it became such a womanizing, sex fiend?
Quality parenting skills. Sam and myself both work in the wine and spirit industry and both have a deep, passionate love for all things distilled spirits. So as the red-blooded Americans we are, we vow to have a drink in our hand throughout this show and every single show. Mr. Graham, since we are across the realm in Zoom for a very good reason, because you need to get very drunk, what are you currently drinking and what else will you be drinking? Because I need you to drink a ton. You have a list to read, for fuck's sake.
Okay, so I did a bottle kill.
We like that.
I have what was this? Elijah Craig Toasted Barrel.
Very good.
I only had about 2 glasses left, so I poured them all at once and then added a little ice. Excuse me. So that's going down. 94 proof. That run you anywhere between 80 and 120, depending how bad the store wants to rape you, because it's one of those allocated products.
So now the very important question is what's going to be the next thing? Because, you simply cannot exist on just one double pour of whiskey.
I brought a pint of Mai Tai down from the old Myers Dark Rum from Hugh Blind Cocktails, owned by Sazerac. Myers is one of the brands they bought off of Diageo a couple years ago that remained with my company and put into my division. So I get a bunch of this fun stuff that they come out with. So this one is 40% by volume. 40 proof, 20% by volume. But it's a full pint, and that'll be gone by the time we finish the show.
That's what I like to hear. Very good.
And then I brought 3 beers down, and I'm sure we'll take a break at some point since we're not streaming this.
Yes, I like that. That's exactly what's going to have to happen. Now, for those of you who do not know what's going on, is that today, this Thursday, and you all are going to be hearing this on Friday, the transfer window has closed. And what we like to do every year, because by utter and complete mistake the first year, we had Sam go over all
You say mistake. I say creative genius.
What?
That instead of recapping, you just read
every single name.
It's legendary.
Sam was exceptionally hammered, and may have been with a friend of his that may or may not have been enjoying a
Fresh air.
fresh air pen.
Possibly.
That may or may not have hotboxed his car.
That's just a rumor.
May or may not. So there might have been some contact issues there.
That's a rumor. You can't prove that.
And Mr. Graham, I had told him ahead of time as we got ready to do this. I was like, hey, look, just hit the highlights. There's a lot of names on that list. It's really not necessary. He started at AFC Bournemouth, and he read every fucking name till Wolverhampton wasn't even in the league yet, till he had gotten all the way through the last person with I think West Brom was still in the league. It was in the league. It was either West Brom or West Ham that he had finished with. And it would have been West Ham. Would have been West Ham. And I know I have a fancy cough button and I didn't use it. Fuck off. But as Graham continued to read this, our good friend, Miss Chef Bentley, just looked at me and he's giggling as much as he can. He goes, he won't stop. He just won't stop.
It just keeps going.
And since then, we did realize the creative genius of all of that. So what we do every year that the transfer window ends, even if it lands on a Monday, we purposely do not do the show live in studio because we want Graham in his house. Why, Graham?
So I can get really drunk and I don't have to drive because we are fucking responsible.
Exactly. We're going to be responsible. And what we do is we get Graham really, really hammered, and then we have him read the transfer list.
The
Eastern European names are fun, especially when you're tanked.
That's it.
I'm not sure what PZO with a line through it is supposed to sound like, but that comes up fairly often.
I want to make this sound more entertaining, but I can't. He simply gets drunk and reads a list. And that is all.
But that's it. It's like a car accident. It's so gruesome you can't look away. It's so bad that it's good.
You know what?
That's the thing. It's like, Tosh pointed out.
Well, see, that's the problem. The problem in all of this right now, though, Graham, is you currently aren't drinking and you have a state you need to get to. So why don't you go ahead and continue to drink unresponsibly since you are in your own home?
Everybody else drink responsibly.
Very good. I am drinking the Glenlivet Enigma, which was I'm also bottle killing as well, Mr. Graham. This is from the 2018 list of Whiskey Advocate, and this was a top tenor.
Was he an El Divo?
El Divo, yes, he was. Yeah.
Well, if he was a top tenor, you figure he'd be in the best operatic quartet ever.
I hear you with your jokes there, Graham.
That was for Taylor.
Okay. It's
enjoy that, you twat.
Oh, what? So you can put up another meme of you as the concert girl and me as the concert boyfriend with your arm around my neck, that meme yelling something into my ear? Yes, I understand. As I give the 100-yard stare of why is this woman talking to me thing? Yes, you're absolutely right. The Enigma is mystery barrel. They never say specifically what it is that they do with it each year. This one was fun. I found it to be a little hot. It's definitely not a sherry finish. It's definitely a bourbon barrel finish because you could see the color very pale on it.
Yep.
Where American White Oak gives bourbon a lot of flavor, it's because gives bourbon a lot of color. It's because it's brand new. Once it gets used and gets sent off to Scotland, and it's cold in Scotland, it don't give you much, man. It gives you very, very low color, but it does give you all the caramel vanilla flavor that you look for because that's what you want out of it.
Well, exactly, yeah.
And it's about 165, 175. You're not finding the bottle. The bottle does not exist anymore. It's a one-off for a year, and if you can find it, and it's reasonable, and you're a Speyside person, I would say buy it. If you find it and you're not a Scotch person, do not buy it. It's
just leave it alone.
Leave it for the Scotch. Leave it for the Scotch aficionado that's going to appreciate and love it. It's good, not great. That's what I'd have to say about it. So,
heard.
Alrighty, well, Mr. Graham, let's go ahead and get into the action.
Yeah, let's do it.
There we go. I got to move all the notes around and everything. Look at me being completely unorganized and not ready I thought we were professionals, Mr. Graham.
Well, I am. I have my notes right here.
All right. We open with a crazy game at Anfield as Newcastle go toe-to-toe with yet another top club, Liverpool 2, Newcastle 1. Liverpool gets scored on first again. This is 8 of 9 of their last games. The only one they have not gotten scored on first in was the 9-0 drubbing last week of Bournemouth. And that's because Bournemouth didn't score.
Absolutely. They, I don't know what's going on with them this season. This game wasn't particularly pretty either. I mean, the Bournemouth result is an outlier. If you look at their first, 5 games here, as a collective.
Bournemouth's a very bad team. That's why Liverpool beat them the way they did.
Well, exactly right. They're just not cohesive at the moment. They're very disjointed. I mean, we could say this about a few teams. I wrote that about Villa that we're going to talk about here shortly as well. It's just they don't seem to be firing on all cylinders. The team seems fractured at the moment, and nobody's playing their normal game that we've come to expect over the last kind of 18 months.
And that's the problem, because they're a team that should be battling for every single trophy available to them this year. That's not
part
a
of the
good way to
problem.
start.
And maybe that's part of it, is they did battle for they played literally every possible game they could play in a calendar season.
Yep.
Right. Last season. And for them, that massive disappointment of only coming away with 2 trophies and the 2 lesser trophies out of the 4, I think that's an issue. And we've spoken many times about Liverpool not liking necessarily, not taking to the FA Cup very often.
Right.
And so coming away with a League Cup and an FA Cup is like fucking small potatoes. Like it's just a massive letdown for them, to come so close. And at one point on the final day of the season, they had one hand on the Premier League trophy.
Right. Fair enough. They really did. Now, welcome to the fucking Premier League, Newcastle new signing, Mr. Isaac.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
And
he, off to a flyer. I don't think he was offside either.
I was gonna say should have had 2. Yep. 2. I think he was on there. I've reached the point, just as a watcher of this league. I'm going to assume that for the most part they're getting it right anymore. I'm not going to sit there and just beat myself over the head figuring out the blue line and the red line. I would say Everton, who we'll get on to, looked like he was onside. This situation looked like he was onside as well. Both got called offsides. As long as you're consistently doing that, I'm not really going to bitch. Because it's
I mean, that's fair. But what kind of pisses me off about the whole thing in general, and this is a specific line that another pundit that I listen to says frequently, is goals are the best bit.
Yeah.
That's why we're here. It's for the fucking goals. That is the best bit of football is goals.
Agreed.
And this toenail, the Nike swoosh on his boot had a loose string, had a loose thread in it, so he's offside. That shit's got to go. I'm not a fan of that. I kind of like the Arsene Wenger. He's done a lot of problematic things over the last couple of years with some things he's come out once for the international game. But one point I do take is the daylight rule. What advantage, you tell me, what advantage either one in your game or in this game that player gained from the position that their toenail was in?
None.
So even if their entire foot was beyond the defender, what advantage really is that? The defender wasn't even close to him.
Right.
So I would like to see some sort of daylight rule implemented where the whole body has to be across the line. Like the
then it becomes how much shade is behind that fucking line. Then it'll always be something.
It's just really easy. It's just really easy to do. I mean, it seems easy. I mean, they'll fuck it up for sure, but
yeah.
On the face of it, it seems pretty easy to do. That's the only rule that changes every goddamn year. It's the offside rule, the way it's interpreted.
And also,
what was it? Brighton? had somebody that
Mhm.
flicked the ball over the top that was 5 yards offside, and they still allowed the corner to stand, even though there was a clear and obvious error, and VAR didn't look at it
Right. Well, and
in
it's
their game. And these two, you're going to call it because he was offsides literally by the length of a bee's dick?
well,
I don't
also
think so.
those two, you know what the major difference was there? Sideline official put his flag up because remember last year they kept the flags down the whole time and they would just let VAR sort it out after the fact. Well, now because the flag's been put up, it has to be a clear and obvious error that he didn't mean to put his like you have to prove that he was on sides because the call on the field is that he's offsides. That, and again, for me, as long as you keep to the fucking rule, just pick a fucking rule, stick with it, call it that way for everybody, you know, because there's enough bullshit, and I'm sure we'll talk about it soon enough. There's enough other bullshit that bigger clubs get away with that smaller clubs do not get away with. That I just want some level of fucking consistency with the offsides. And honestly, like I said, I'm almost numb to it anymore. I'm just numb to it.
Yeah, it pisses me off. It's annoying. It's unnecessary stoppage. It takes fucking ages in a lot of cases when they got to get the lines out. You know, I'm sick of it. I'm with you there.
Good.
I'm just kind of
Good first goal for Liverpool. I mean, normally it didn't take a moment of genius. It was just a really good build up play that got slotted away. Like it
was good. It was good vision by Mo Salah and Firmino for all the shit that he's been through over the last 18 months when Jota came in and all that kind of stuff, and kind of losing his place, you know, for large periods, being kind of a bit part player. I think he's taking his chance that Jota's hurt right now and saying, you know what, go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
This is my position.
Yep.
You know, and you hadn't scored at Anfield since March or something, or in a year or something like that. March of last year is the last time he scored at Anfield. Now he's got 3 assists in his last 2 games.
Yeah. Now I do got to get into it. Nick Pope had himself a hell of a game, but Nick Pope also took a bump early, and then he took a bump right at the end, really fucking hard.
Oh yeah, really hard.
I got a question. Why do you loan out Dubravka? I mean, yeah, you have Darlow, but you might need both of those bodies. And that really made no sense at all to me why they did that today when Pope could honestly be hurt.
Oh, Sam, I'm sorry. Wait, Liverpool just scored. We should probably go back and talk about that.
What, after the game was actually over, they did you like or extended time?
Yeah, exactly. We're into the 9th minute of 4 minutes of stoppage time now. The cubes have already gone, but sorry, we got to go back. What a volley from Carvalho! Obviously, a little lucky, but it was good. I mean, that corner being given was swung in beautifully, and then kind of was a little scramble there, and then Carvalho just snatched at it. It was excellent. You got to think. Was it Lascelles maybe that ball bounced and you saw Pope kind of go for it?
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure who it was.
He somebody flicked their leg up and popped the ball back up into the air.
Yeah.
And Pope had to try to retreat.
Yeah.
But from that close a distance, I mean, Carvalho, as long as it's on target and not on Nick Pope's person,
right,
it's going in the back of the net.
As long as he doesn't shoot it off Nick Pope's face or chest, it's going in the back of the net.
It's going in the back of the net. Yeah, and it did. Right off the underside of the crossbar. It was, a crazy finish to the game. I feel for Newcastle fans in this. I don't often offer them sympathy, but this one I do feel for them.
Should have gotten the point. They deserved the point.
Yeah, for sure. And there was still a chance for Newcastle down the other end just before that as well.
Right. Now let's allow me to say the following, because we all know I'm going to talk with a certain level of blue colored lenses. But also, we need to look at this efficiently, and there was too much time at the end of the match. You know, it's despite injuries, despite time wasting, all of it.
No. Don't you know? It's because Pope faked an injury and they added on the 94 seconds. That's all there was. No need to look any further.
Yeah, the Dutch tulip definitely did not put a fucking elbow into his back. And let me get to that in a second. First and foremost, I want to say the following. If you're Newcastle, you've got to clear that line. You had multiple opportunities to clear that line.
Yes.
You did not clear that line. The goal stands. You deserve to lose because you didn't clear that line. Don't let it be in the officials' fucking hands, right?
Yep.
Very simple. That is the very simplest part of it. But
100%.
We're going to add conjecture because that's what we fucking do. We're a biased fucking show. There was 5 minutes of stoppage time added. Pope did get hurt. If this was Pickford, I would even admit that's time wasting. That's him being a shit. Nick Pope ain't that kind of fucking keeper. He's just not. He's never proven to be that guy before. Like, he's a Leighton Baines type, James Milner type. This is a stand-up fucking bloke.
Honest pro. If he goes down, something's wrong with him.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's a Patrick Vieira, a Roy Keane. He's an honest pro that's going to – I mean, they were cheats in other ways, but in terms of feigning injury, they didn't do that.
He was down for 90 seconds.
94 seconds. Somebody counted, apparently.
94 seconds.
I have no idea. That's the claim.
Why was the goal scored at the 98th minute?
No. Exactly 94 seconds, because that's how math works.
Right. When Roy played that back to me and then told me that we was a Liverpool fan that broke it down. No, it was not in the. If that would have been the case,
that was a football page that was spreading that rumor.
You'd be amazed how many of those are really fucking biased.
Guys.
Yeah.
Liverpool's already scored. Now we got to blow the whistle really fast. Game's over. Let's go on to the next one.
Right. Because the celebration doesn't add any time to the clock.
Doesn't warrant 40 seconds to a minute.
No.
Of course not.
Mr. Graham, I seem to remember a game against Bournemouth back when Eddie Howe was still the manager there, where Everton was down 2-1. They tied it 2-2. There was 5 minutes of stoppage time added. Everton scored in the 94th minute, made it 3-2. Barkley ran into the stands, got a yellow for it, right? And then there were 3 extra added minutes on top of that 5. and Bournemouth scored in the 98th minute and 30 seconds where they scored to tie. And it was like a 30-second celebration garnered another 3 minutes of footy. But again, and that's the greater cause, Sam. And that's what I bitched about when we were talking about it with the Drunkard United FC closed group was there are 6 teams that get that extra time, right? There are 6 teams that when Mo Salah kicks that ball and it gets blocked, they get that extra corner. And they don't even just get that extra corner. They get the time to get everybody down there and to get themselves set up and take the corner. Not hurry up, take the corner because time's ticking, right? And then there's 14 clubs who don't. You know?
Well, you just said Bournemouth got it, so
right in a
there's
match
7 clubs.
Right. You know what? Fair enough. I'll give you that one. But it's in those circumstances, if the ball was on the other end of the pitch and that was Newcastle who had just had their shot blocked, do they get the corner kick or does the whistle get blown?
So the other piece to that, though, you're right. And traditionally that time has been called Fergie time, right?
Mm-hmm.
Manchester United used to get that extra time when nobody else got that extra time. Not even, the likes of Arsenal, Chelsea, or whoever. It was known as Fergie time because at Old Trafford, they would allow you to do it. I will say, I don't know that I necessarily agree fully that it's a big club thing. I think it's more of a home side thing also. You're going to let down 38,000 people because the home team is on the front foot at the moment or they're having an attacking opportunity. I think if that's, if it's not 9-0, but it's still this game's at Anfield, right? If it's 9-0, the referee takes sympathy on Bournemouth and goes, you know what, fuck it, we're going to end the game. But in this instance, you're attacking the cop, you're at home, you get the extra 3 minutes, though, is fucking ridiculous. It's absolutely absurd. I completely agree with that. There's no reason to add that time on. It's bullshit.
I tell you what, Sam, because if that was really the case, I know Jesse Marsh right now is still tapping at his fucking watch, looking for extra time to be added from Tuesday.
Right.
Let's go ahead and turn our attention to the bottom half of the table, Sammy. Well, actually, not the bottom half, just flat out the bottom of the table. It's still early, but there's sides still getting in some trouble. Early losing streaks, points but no wins, and then there's even massive goal against differences too. Everton 1, Leeds 1, Arsenal 2, Villa 1, Bournemouth 0, Wolves 0, Man U 1, Leicester City 0. And I promise the next segment I will do a better job reading the intro because that was really poor.
Made me yawn.
Yeah. Thanks, appreciate it. In all fairness, I make you yawn regularly, so it really doesn't matter.
Yeah, well, it's past my bedtime.
Now, I'm taking umbrage with this.
Mm-hmm.
We're perfect,
mm-hmm.
and somehow we get lumped in with the dross of the league.
Because you beat someone. That's why. And
yeah, but we don't even get a mention in your unenthusiastic hand job of an intro.
You've been at the top of the league. We've been talking about you every fucking week. I know you want it to all be about you, but it's not always going to be about you.
Well, I currently, as the best team in the league, I would have to say that it is all about us right now.
Look, somebody scored a corner kick on you on the near post, and you tried to sign him and failed. So settle down there, killer.
25 million. Come on, guy. 25 million.
That's one name I'd be able to say. Damn it! No matter how drunk I was.
Well, nope. He's Brazilian. I guarantee you, there's a lot more than Douglas Luiz in that name.
Yeah,
you forget
fair.
all the extra added stuff, right?
That's fair.
I remember Bernard's name. I don't remember the name, but I remember hearing Bernard's name. And you know the one word I didn't hear in the entire part of Bernard's name?
Bernard.
Yeah,
that's like Pele.
Yep.
His name is totally different.
Toffees get themselves a second road draw in a row. I mean, I hate to say it like I said last week, but that's a big game for us, unfortunately. For where we are right now, that's a big fucking point.
It's hard to, yes, I'd agree, but it's hard to, this is going to be a weird statement. So I'm going to call this a hot take.
Okay.
I think both teams were lucky.
I'll give you that. Yeah, I'll give you that.
It's a really hard thing to do, but somehow y'all managed to do it. Because Leeds doubled you up in every single statistical category.
Yeah.
Every single statistical category, Leeds doubled you up on, yet you escaped with a 1-1 draw. However, I don't think Damari Gray was offside either.
No, I don't think he was.
So Leeds, technically, the game was on a knife's edge. Statistically, Leeds should have killed you. But what actually happened on the field, you should have won this game.
Well, I think, and that leads into kind of the next thing I was going to talk about. I think what ultimately really affected this match, I would like to take it back to our days of playing indoor soccer together. Drunkard United FC, which is the namesake of this show. We all played indoor together, and it was an all kind of white boy American team kind of thing, right? And we played in a mostly Hispanic league. We played at Division I, played at the highest level. And there was one team, Real Juventud. And whenever we played them, we'd be up 3-0, 4-1. And then they'd start picking up every ball and walking away with it and dropping it. If the ball was out of bounds and you were going to pick it up for a throw in, they'd tip it away from you. They'd start flopping and falling, or to asking the ref they'd stand in front of the ball for every free kick and make you give them 3 yards and just do those little things. And the next thing you knew, we as a team were no longer focused on the game. We were all focused at yelling at the ref. They would sit there and purposely throw in balls illegally. The ref would never call it because it's indoor and the ref never called it. And they would do it purposely because they knew it would piss us off and they knew we wouldn't pay attention to any of it. And the final would end up being, if we were up 4-1, the final would be 9-7. They won.
Yep.
Because eventually we just stopped paying attention to the game and we only paid attention to the bullshit. Saw a lot of that in Leeds, man. Everton played a very ugly, very chippy, very kind of physical, fuck with you kind of game. And the next thing you know, Jesse Marsch is on the sidelines and all he's doing is tapping his watch at the refs. Worry about what your fucking team's doing. Worry about how to break down the ugly fucking game that Everton's playing in front of you. Don't just sit there and worry about the bullshit. Like, his whole team seemed to vibe off of that too. It seemed like they all just kind of went, okay, we're all going to bitch about everything now. And they'd almost played in Everton's hand.
There was stuff to bitch about. I mean, Tom Davies, that it was chippy from the start.
Oh yeah,
there were tackles flying in.
Stupid yellow card from Tom Davies. What the fuck
for
are you
whatever
thinking?
Reason? But Tom Davies got under Meslier's skin. I thought that was fucking hysterical because Meslier channeled the spirit of Rob Holmes.
Oh
and
yeah,
dropped the ball in the box and ran after him. The difference is Rob would have clocked the dude. Meslier had too much time to get there, and he ended up calming down and just kind of giving a gentle little push in the chest, kind of near neck area.
Yeah.
So that was pretty funny. The goals just get it over with because what we really want to talk about is the other shit. The goals were both actually quite decent.
Yeah,
I thought they were good goals. Yeah. Other than that, I think both teams were quite wasteful.
Yeah.
There was a fair amount of shots, not a lot of shots on target. The couple that were, both keepers played pretty well for the most part.
Yeah.
So fine, no problem. So now I really want to get into Christensen and Gordon going at it like goats in the middle of the field.
Yeah, putting the heads together. Yeah, just putting both heads together and staying there and not disconnecting. Neither one pushed hard. Neither one fell back. I was like, what is up with this shit? How about that?
And that's why they weren't Rams. That's why they're goats.
Just bloody
head to head.
Bloody fucking brilliant. It was fantastic.
So fucking funny. That I thought that was absolutely hysterical. And I think I can't remember who it was. I know Meslier was one of them. He was kind of lucky to not get a yellow initially for the push on Tom Davies, but then he came in hot to that dog pile.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure what at that point, because they didn't show what Jesse Marsch was saying or doing at the time that the GOAT thing was happening. But what they showed the afters, the benches met right around the fourth official as well.
Right.
And I'm not sure what that was about. But Anthony Gordon came in there hot. And it all started really, didn't Rodrigo dislocate his own shoulder punching Connor Cody in the back of the head early in the game?
No, it was a 50-50 ball with Pickford. And they were both kind of grabbing on one another. And then somewhere in all of that, there was no foul in it. They were just the two of them tussling for a ball. But Rodrigo went down with a dislocated shoulder, which that's incredibly concerning. Did he actually
fall?
Leeds.
I can't remember. Did he land awkwardly?
No, it was.
So that's weird. So my wife had to have surgery on her rotator cuff and another ligament in her shoulder because she dislocated it once doing something weird. And it like stretched everything out, I guess. And then she'd be like swimming in the ocean and yank, her shoulder would fall out of place, like kind of stuff. And the kind of ball dropped when she had to have surgery is she was laying in bed when she was about 17 or so and just kind of stretched. And then her arm got stuck and she couldn't put it back in.
Wow. Okay.
They had to call an ambulance. Yeah. And they did surgery. It was long before I met her, but yeah, so I wonder if Rodrigo has a history of that. I've never heard that, but it seemed fairly innocuous, but he had it. They did the old Jersey sling and then the physios were holding it in place. So that's kind of worrisome if it's that easy for that to happen, because Jordan Pickford's not exactly a big lad.
No.
We talk about this a lot too. And if he can yank your arm out of its socket with those little T-Rex arms, I don't know how the fuck he's going to survive in this league.
Well, I do think that is something to keep an eye on, is that emotion, that raw emotion, wearing your emotions on your sleeve like Jesse is doing as a head coach can galvanize a side, can also hurt a side. And I'm interested to see. It can also
distract the side. You're absolutely right.
I'm interested to see how that plays out throughout the season because, God forbid you're playing, Klopp, and Klopp loves when coaches do that shit. He loves that shit. He'll play that
we
mind
forgot
game.
to talk about that too. Sorry, Sam. It's a 10th minute of stoppage time.
Now we're
the
going back
water
to
bottle
Liverpool.
fiasco.
Oh, yes, that's right.
Oh, yeah. Controversy, the water bottle fiasco, and then the finger language coming from the Liverpool bench.
So a member of Newcastle staff lobbed a water bottle over towards the Liverpool side.
Uh-huh. And then the Liverpool side was giving
Liverpool
the finger and
scored,
laughing at him.
Right, and then when Liverpool scored, we got the old...
Yep. The two-finger salute in England.
Which was
we call it the
brilliant,
one-fingered salute here, but it's a two-fingered salute in England.
Also quite funny.
All right,
so that's good. All right, good. Now that game's finally over. Jeez, man, we only allotted 5 minutes for it. It's been 12. So yeah, now this one, Louis Sinistera, good for him. First goal, I think Jordan Pickford was unsighted. He used the defense to his advantage. This was something that I would do fairly frequently. Also, if I was cutting in on my wrong foot, I would shoot near post as the defender was trying to cut across me, to use him as an object in my offense where the goalkeeper wouldn't be able to see me shoot, essentially, and where the ball was going.
I would like it very much noted that I was ready to move on, and he kept talking about the match.
Just move on. What's the game after that? I think you're up to Bournemouth and Wolves.
No, we are not. We are on your game. Thing.
Listen, that was all I'm trying to say. Is good for him. That's his first goal in British football.
It's definitely the girl in the meme with his arm wrapped around my neck, just telling me more. Gunners are on a fucking roll, man. 5 of 5, top of the league. You got to say they're beating the teams they should beat. Not always pretty, but effective. And in this match, you really held control of it. Martinez kept Villa in it, even though he made a mistake on the first goal. He ended up with 6 saves. That game could have been a lot bigger of a win for Arsenal.
Yeah,
absolutely, 100%. We both of our ex-goalkeepers played very well against us in the last 2 games.
Motivation, maybe.
Yeah, of course it is. Villa, it's hard because Villa, I think, is a good side. I still think they're a good team.
Oh yeah, we got talent. We just don't have.
It's
glue.
just it's so disjointed. I mean, for whatever reason, all of a sudden, players are dwelling on the ball. Passing is a little erratic. There's just some stupid loose touch giveaways. It's almost like Villa looked like a team that has 15 internationals on it, and there was a tournament this summer.
Yeah,
and they didn't get a proper preseason,
right?
Except for they fucking did. So
they did get a proper preseason, yeah.
It might be our coach,
but also you can't go canning him yet. Like
no.
Honestly, you got to kind of wait through November till you get to the World Cup.
Oh, hey, look, Scott Parker's available.
Well, clearly, he's going to make a difference.
Well, Villa might fuck again at least.
No.
That's true.
Well,
Villa would definitely fuck again.
Scott Parker is gorgeous. He wears $2,000 sweaters.
The fans, including Your Highness, texted me earlier about Potter, and it's like, why do we keep bringing Potter up? What did you say? He's like 4th on the table right now?
He's in 4th place currently. No, they lost, so I think they're down to 7th.
It doesn't matter.
After selling their 2 best players.
Yeah. And then they went out and got a really good signing today in Billy Gilmore. Like a really good signing. I just stop thinking that guy's going to come coach for you. I guarantee you, if we fire Lampard, our fan base will all go, oh yeah, Potter. Why does he want to go to either one of those clubs? No. Tell me why, other than, okay, they've got a little bit more money than Brighton. They clearly don't spend it better than Brighton.
Are they confused, and do they think he's actually magic?
That was who shared that in the group. That was funny as hell. We're talking about the Drunken United FC closed group on Facebook. Ask to join it. It's super fun. That's where all the hashtag bans happen.
I didn't see that. I saw something else though.
So it was Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone movie cover, but Graham Potter was superimposed onto Harry Potter, and then like Professor Snape down at the bottom was like Alexis McAllister. Hermione was Adam Lallana because he's somewhat ginger. Lewis Dunk, I think, was Ron Weasley.
Too funny.
It was very funny, but they superimposed a bunch of Brighton players on a Harry Potter movie poster. It was pretty good.
Now, what I saw was Lindsay talking about how there's a lot of Arsenal supporters who have been, shall we say, quite combative against Villa supporters online for our refusal to give up the Douglas Luiz.
Yeah, it's Big Six mentality.
We often win the internet.
Yeah. It's that Big Six mentality. It's the, well, don't you know who we are? You should give him to us simply because we have requested him. Like, hey there, nice little Aston Villa. We request your defensive midfielder. We do not care if he's important to you. You especially when it's deadline day. The goal of some teams, they'll just be like, we know you can't do anything, so we're going to offer you a little bit of money, and we know you can't do shit with it, and we know that this is going to cripple your club. And the guy is going to play until our injured guy gets back.
25
and then he's not going to play.
25 million was what the offer got up to today.
Yep.
And
See, I thought I heard it was 30 or 35.
Maybe it got up that high.
But I don't know what's really to be believed. The problem
It don't matter because we said nope.
Part of the problem is I think we started too low, right? And we started it on fucking deadline day when you can't really replace him, especially not for the cash that we gave you.
Yeah.
Even though
it wouldn't have made sense for y'all to do that.
Even though they got Leonard Dendoncker in, they need some depth in the midfield because it's clear Gerard's going to have to mix it up because what he's working with is not working currently.
That is, by the way, a name I'm looking forward to Graham trying to read later.
Leonard Dendoncker.
Oh,
that is
one's
a tongue
actually
twister.
easy because he's been in the league for a while. It's Leander Dendoncker.
There we go.
Leander Dendoncker. See, it's a nice little tongue twister.
And Taylor made a 16 Candles reference with Dendoncker. The Dendoncker need food badly was his team name one time.
Love it. Love it.
All right, do your shot,
That's
woman.
pretty good.
Well, Dendoncker, I done did shot her. I'm getting used to this.
That's pretty good.
Alrighty. Wolves can't score. They really can't. There were plenty of opportunities in this match. This is a match they should have won. They should be out of the bottom three currently, and they aren't. And if ever there's a time to just roll over a team, it's Bournemouth, and you couldn't manage to fucking win.
They couldn't put anything on target. And I actually will be remiss if I didn't do one little shout out, one little piece of credit to Emi Martinez real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Possibly the save of the season from that Gabriel Martinelli volley.
Oh,
already.
Yeah.
That volley was fucking vicious, and he got both hands to it.
Mm-hmm.
He got two. That was fucking vicious, that volley.
Yep.
And it was headed right for the top corner. That's quite possibly the save of the season already happened.
I would not disagree with that.
I apologize. I would be remiss if I didn't mention that because that was fucking dope.
That's why I came in early and said, I mean, look, without those 6 saves, this game's a lot worse.
Mm-hmm.
A lot worse. It's
Big time.
The 2-1 score line is flattering for Villa.
Yeah.
Arsenal owned that game. But here's the fun thing. So normally when you fire a manager, there's a new manager bump, right? Even if it's an interim manager, there's a little bit of fight.
Yeah. Well, point for Bournemouth is a bump.
Adam Smith didn't even get a yellow card in this match.
God damn it.
I mean, what is this world coming to when you're
that would have already been his fifth, right? That would have already been his fifth, and he would have already been suspended.
I mean, he is already an early candidate for D-back of the year, just not because he might be a perfectly lovely guy and he wears the captain armband, so clearly he inspires something for the team. Just because
he acts like me on the field,
he just deserves to be given a D-back award for that. Like it's just like he's just an asshole. Yeah, exactly. I'm just going to go foul guy. Why? Because, I like to destroy beautiful things. That's what I want to do.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, Wolves dominated the game from start to finish. You're absolutely right about that. But they only managed 4 shots on target from 17.
Yep.
Raul Jimenez putting free headers wide. Like, he's just, I don't know what it is. He's not the same player since coming back from that injury. He cannot seem to get his legs underneath of him properly. And it's not like he's timid or scared anymore.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not good.
Well, the good news for Wolves is they used a nice, firm, solid grip and were able to hold on to the Wang during the transfer deadline.
Yeah, but they lost the Willie.
They did lose a Willie. I think they wanted the Willie to go, though.
I want the Willie to go a lot of places, but my wife won't let me.
Oh, man. All right, final match of this little segment here. Fairly even between United and Leicester. I mean, all the numbers are pretty much spot on for shots on target, possession,
everything.
Passing. But there was one opportunity. United took it. United scored. I mean, it's really kind of it.
Yeah, basically. And I had, what annoys me about this was I had a over 1.5 goals in live betting, real betting. I had over 1.5 goals in the game. I had Sancho and Rashford to score anytime and United to win. And the only thing that didn't happen was fucking Marcus Rashford couldn't score.
Right, exactly.
And by the time I got home to finish watching the game, in the time that I walked from the car to the house where my streaming Sirius XM was a little bit behind and my live USA television station, Marcus Rashford had already been subbed off. So I walked inside with the hope still alive.
Nope.
Which really pissed me off. Yeah. It really made me mad.
Here's a big one. Now, I mean, we'll get to, right turn Clyde about face later on in the transfer recap is the only real thing that Leicester brought in. But they did hold on to Tielemans. But here's the thing with holding on to Tielemans. He's at the end of his deal. He is not signing an extension. He's not.
Correct.
So, and he also knows.
Not on this form, he's not.
And he also knows a few things. One, he is a starting midfielder for the Belgian national team that will get a lot of look and a lot of run in the World Cup. He will come out the belle of the ball. And Leicester can't afford to not play him. They're going to have to play him.
Yep.
That guy's stock next year is going to be ridiculous.
The best thing that they can do is get £5 million for him in January now.
Yeah, that's it. You got
to literally, it'd be like us going to buy a Coca-Cola.
Yeah,
with some of the money that's being tossed around by these clubs, right? But just pay us something. £5 million, you get him. That's to us. That's $2.19, right? Plus tax.
Well, and here's the thing in that too is he doesn't have to accept terms. So if you're going to sell him to somebody, he can look right at you and go, "You got me till the end of the year, because I'm going to write my paycheck. I'm going to write my own fucking paycheck."
But that's what I'm saying. If Leicester went with like a 2.5 million or a £5 million fee, he could still write his paycheck. That's what I'm saying. Just so they could get something for him.
Yeah. But I got to tell you,
who knows? He might not. He might want that extra 50 grand. Who knows?
We've thrown around the term with Everton last year. We're already throwing it around with Villa this year. And I could say the same here with Leicester. Too good to go down, but fuck around and find out, man.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
You got a list to read, so let's go ahead and zip through this. Rounding out the rest of the league, and so that happened. Hey, look, I got that one right, unlike the second segment that I butchered. Palace 1, Brentford 1, Fulham 2, Brighton 1, Southampton 2, Chelsea 1, West Ham 1, Tottenham 1, Man City 6, Nottingham Forest 0. Great goal from Zaha in the Palace Brentford game.
Absolutely fantastic goal.
That boy is finding his stride right now. He is really finding his way in that team.
The problem is, besides that, and then the cross for Weiss's goal to equalize, the final third was like anti-football for both teams.
Yeah, agreed.
Build-up was good. Passing was fine. The counter-attacking was decent. You get to the final third, and I don't even think the defending was that good. They were basic-ass mistakes, mistimed or misplaced passes for the most part, and which allowed the defense to recover.
Yeah.
It was. I thought this game was actually quite ugly. I was not
agree.
happy with it,
I
to
agree.
be honest.
And for Brentford, at least you equalize and you call it a day. You get
well,
a
that's
point.
it. But it's like the entire game built up to those 2 moments of
Yeah.
quality. Those 2 moments. It was like it took all of the. This is exact. You know what this is? This is the cup of losers mentality. Let's be shit and feed the shit poop gods. And when the shit poop gods decide that we've fed them enough, they'll give us one moment of spectacular brilliance that we can hold on to and say, we love this game.
Right.
This is
A round of golf. This is a round of golf.
It. That's exactly what I was about to say. This is that tee shot on 17 over a lake that you clear 325 in the air, but you still shot 112.
And you 5-putted that hole.
But that's why you come back.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Fulham, Mitro scores again, and I think we see the first real slip from Brighton.
Yeah, both teams had opportunities, but no one, again, could really – I don't know if this is because of being the first round of midweek games, the first round of games on short rest or what.
It is 1,000% that.
Nobody could keep their shots on target again. I feel like both teams in this game were quite wasteful. Even Mitro's opener, the way that I can't remember who it was that assisted him, but the way that he lashed at that ball, that was a fucking shot that he misplaced. Yeah. And it just happened to land at Mitro's foot.
Yeah, really the only team in all 20 that had their shit together was City, and that's because Haaland spotted you another 3 spot again, like he likes to do. That's real. I mean,
right.
But outside of that, fuck it. The entire this was not a good week of fixtures. This was a very shitty midweek for the most part.
No, absolutely was. But you look at the right. So that goal was a wayward shot that found the foot of Mitro, and then a good cross on the ground got turned in by Lewis Dunk at the end.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So it's like it's just shit all around. It just wasn't fun in a lot of these games.
Yeah.
But then again, you have the Zaha goal that gives you you have that Eze piece of brilliance when he hit the post, and it's just like
agreed.
That's what I'm here for. I like that.
You know what?
I want those things.
You know what I'm here for? Chelsea being a fucking mess.
Yeah, that's delightful. Actually,
they are, because this game, Chelsea went up 1-0. They didn't deserve to be up 1-0. Southampton should have scored more goals. This game should have been 4-1. They should have more. They were the better team. They were the better team. Here. Please go for it.
67% possession for Chelsea. Just 40% of their shots on target. 4 out of 10 were on target. They were so wasteful. It was ridiculous. Southampton were uncharacteristically efficient. Don't know why the number 9 keeps popping up, but it does. They had 7 shots on target from 9 overall shots that they had, right? So they outshot Chelsea in actual shots on goal. Now, this is where the issue lies with Southampton, right? How does Sterling have time to do what he did to score his goal?
Because when we talk about the young side that they are, the young side is the entire defensive line. That's where the youth in this team is. Like, yeah, there's a young midfielder next to Ward-Prowse, but really it's the Salisu is your experienced guy, right? That's your and let's face it, the transfer window today, they sent out their 2 experienced defenders. They sent out Armstrong and they sent out Bednarak. And
that's fair. I'm just saying, where's the midfield? Why aren't you tracking back with them? What happened here? That was absolutely ridiculous.
This is the kind of mistakes that youth are going to make. But man, they came back great. That first goal,
absolutely,
beaut.
100%. The equalizer. Only 5 minutes later. This is another running theme with Arsenal as well. Something we were all taught as kids, right? Playing the sport is. A goal, when you concede a goal, right, as a team, the easiest time for you to score is for the next 5 minutes because the other team that scored the goal switches off a bit.
Yep. Take it to them.
Arsenal did it twice against Leicester. Both times Leicester scored, Arsenal marched down the field within 2 minutes, bang, scored.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Did it against Villa.
Against Villa was 3 or 4 minutes yesterday.
Yep.
Where they marched right down the field after after Douglas Luiz had that fantastic corner, which also, by the way, I don't want anybody to talk shit. I want to put it out there. I'm happy either way. If that the no call that actually happened, or if they called a foul on Ramsdale, you can make an argument, or not on Ramsdale, but on the Villa player. Right. You can make an argument for either case, and I'm all for fucking let the goals happen, man.
Right. Fair enough.
That's fine with me. Anyway, he was impeded, and it should have been a foul. That's besides the point. Doesn't matter. The whole the whole thing is it's a very basic thing. We're American, obviously, right? You're older than me, so soccer was even less important when you were a kid than when I was a kid.
Right.
And it wasn't very important when I was a kid, right? We were always the last to get things. We had the leftover field time. All that shit. The one thing that we were always taught was the easiest time to concede a goal is right after you score.
Yep.
And time again this season, we see it on the professional level. And that in and of itself is an unprofessional job, because it's one of the first fucking things you're taught when you start playing competitively is after you score a goal for 5 hard fucking minutes, you focus more intently than you do the rest of the game.
Yep. Absolutely the case.
These teams aren't doing it. And one of them just got bought for $4 billion fucking dollars.
Yeah. And that one also went out and recruited a bunch more people today. And I don't know if they fixed the situation.
I'm with you. I don't know if they do or not either.
No.
It's a very strange situation there. Mark brought up a good question, or our one Spud friend that we allow to be involved in this shenanigans. He asked a question in the closed group that said, "Who is your one player in the Premier League you absolutely hate, that you can't stand? Who is it?" For him, it's Scott McTominay. Just for no real reason. You just don't like his face.
Got it.
Mine is Cesar Azpilicueta.
Got it.
Don't know why. I just don't fucking like the dude.
Just don't like him.
I can't stand his ass. And it was really funny because he got spooked. One of the most experienced defenders in the league got scared by the run of a Southampton winger and just rolled the ball out for a corner. When Mendy was standing there like, "Why didn't you play me the fucking ball?"
And that corner resulted in the goal.
Well, it was the laser beam from Romeo Lavia. And, Romeo winning over the hearts of the entire South Coast, if you know what I'm saying, with this strike. Well, maybe not Portsmouth, but at least part of the South Coast. And that strike was venomous. I'm surprised Azpilicueta, after the initial showing, didn't run over and jump behind the advertising hoardings to get out of the fucking way.
Love it.
It was absolutely ridiculous. Adam Armstrong added the goal, the winner, just before halftime in first half stoppage time. But the big thing that was also quite funny was the Saints missed a golden opportunity to seal the deal, having 3 different balls cleared off the line, 2 in the same situation by Cucurella and Mendy, and then a separate one, a header from, I think it was Lavia again, where Thiago Silva cleared it off the line.
Told you, game should have
Chelsea
were 4-1.
Chelsea were at 6s and 7s, but they had almost 70% of the ball.
Yeah.
It was fucking ridiculous.
It was the same thing against Leeds. They had the bulk of the possession, and they were a complete fucking mess. I don't know
people want to talk shit about Jesse Marsch. This new owner is fucking Ted Lasso.
Yeah. Thank you. West Ham and Tottenham, it started off all Tottenham, then there was the penalty shout, and the penalty got overturned by VAR, and then from there, pretty even match after that.
Well, because it wasn't a penalty. It hit him in the face. It was very clear it hit him in the face.
Yeah.
He got it right in the face. Aaron Cresswell pulling off his best Scott Sterling, and it was fine. What I'm really upset about, and I'm going to call Smokey out on this, of course, is that shot by Antonio, that's not a right back. That's a forward, okay? It hit the outside of the post. That's a fucking forward there, all right? But this is with the whole situation surrounding the West Ham Stadium and everything, this has become a bit more of a prominent kind of rivalry.
Mhm.
I wouldn't necessarily, it is a derby because they're both in London, but it's not. The teams don't really have any history against each other besides the stadium fiasco in the last 15 years.
But it's become chippy.
It's become very chippy, and it started off that way. And neither side could really get going. But once they did, there were some decent chances. Like I said, you had Antonio with that hitting the post. But Tottenham did draw first blood, forcing new boy Thilo Keher, which is really close to Kohler, the toilet company. And he did have a bit of a shitter where he put it into his own net on 34 minutes. Thomas Suchek, though, with a good strike to equalize on 55. But both goalkeepers did play well, despite the moment of madness from Hugo Lloris, which he is prone to do, essentially just passing it to a West Ham player.
There's Taylor's next meme, by the way, for Graham doing another one of his well-written, poorly executed dad jokes.
What? Which one?
Your Kohler one. You needed to weasel that one in, didn't you? You were like, I have to get this in there.
I'm also trying to drag it out so I have more time to drink for your stupid ass.
Okay, well, some of us got to be on a plane in the fucking morning, jackass. Looked like Mel wanted to say something and then decided not to say anything.
I was like, we're at an hour. Yeah, we're shooting for an hour. So
yeah, exactly. So let's keep this rolling. Haaland, back-to-back fucking hat tricks. Welcome to the Premier League, Nottingham Forest. There you go. Don't matter if you got 23 new fucking signings.
No, correct. It does not matter. Forest managed just one shot on target, 25.1% possession, but they are still 1/3 better than Bournemouth. What I will say, though, this was the funny part that I wanted to talk to you about. I told you about in Soundcheck, which you can find at patreon.com/football
Good.
Is Haaland's second goal. Did you see the celebration for it?
No,
Everybody ran to the corner with the City fans because the first one he ran opposite towards the Forest fans. He ran towards the City fans in the corner for this one. Him and Rodri were there, right? And the rest of the City team were about here to them.
Yes, little short guys.
Now, Haaland, I'm not saying he's an attractive man, but with the long, flowy blonde hair and Rodri being a fairly attractive Spanish man, do you remember back in the day when in usually right-leaning states, people would take offense to gay men adopting children?
Okay.
And they would oftentimes have to defend themselves in court to keep custody of their kids.
Right.
Right? Do you remember this?
Yes.
Right. So with those two standing so much taller than everyone else, this looked like the gay couple that won the custody battle to keep their children, and the whole family's hugging at the end of it. Because they're towering over everybody else. And it's like, yeah, and they're just talking. Oh, this is great.
Little the rest of the team is a little short. That's Graham.
It's very funny. I thought it was absolutely fucking hysterical. Alvarez, another young Argentinian player with a brace, which was pretty cool for him. The second goal, especially of his, was excellent. And then Cancelo also got one. Good for him.
Very good. Like I said, welcome to the Prem. Does not matter how many people you bring on. You're gonna face this harsh reality a few times this season. You're gonna have to deal with these kind of matches.
Yep, absolutely.
Sure money.
Okay, here we go again.
By the way, admin, I didn't check Pat's bet, by the way, so we'll have to ask him next week.
Nice. I'm pretty sure he did not
win,
but
he already did his bet on the show the other day, didn't he?
Yeah, but I don't remember. He did a midweek and a weekend, and I don't know how he did it in the midweek because I forgot the bet.
Anyway, I'm down 400 now in your segment of Shore Money, which is where we make bets to better inform you for your bets. Once again, we're not responsible for your bad decisions. If you can't understand the irony, that is your motherfucking fault.
Mm-hmm.
Hashtag disclaimer.
Yep.
So, Sammy, how did you fare this week?
I lost 2. My cup of losers says, fuck you, Chelsea. P.S. Play Pulisic. So, very simple.
Actually, a fair point.
It's
mine My cup of losers was something along the lines of, God damn it, Berjan.
Yep. Berjan hurt you.
Berjan fucked me again.
All right, so I'm feeling like Pat because Chelsea fucked me, and now I am down my weight.
Big Sam's Lock of the Week.
A big man doesn't tell. I'm just telling you, I'm down my weight. And Graham, 0% of the time, it works. 100% of the time. You know what? You know the old saying, Sam? When you're in a hole, right? When you've dug yourself into a hole, keep fucking digging. And that's what I'm going to do. Give me Everton to score first and draw Liverpool in the Merseyside derby for plus $1,161 because we are definitely scoring first and we're probably losing 2-1. But you know what they don't have? They don't have fucking Origi. So I think it's going to be 1-1, baby.
Okay. That's an interesting take and a very specific reference for people that aren't familiar with that game over the last 2 seasons.
That's how I feel about it. So what about you, Mr. Graham?
All right. So I have decided to go the opposite direction with Palace on this one. I've got Newcastle to beat Palace with Alexander Isak to score at any time. And for it, and this is the part that's scary, Forest and Bournemouth to draw.
Ooh, you're asking a lot there.
I know. The bookies think so too. That's why it's plus 1,214 for a $100 bet.
You're going for a big one too. I love it. Fucking love it.
Well, most of mine are big ones. That's how the irony of the name got started. Because I usually go for outlandish bullshit.
That is your MO. The problem
I'm
is...
sorry, excuse me. I mean surefire ready-made bets. That's what I...
I would typically say our following person has, or our following fair-weathered friend has a very good record of gambling, but so far, no so good. Let's go to the chicken.
Well, Kitty missed in her third in 4 picks and sits at 1-3. So for the weekend, I gave Kitty Tottenham hosting Fulham.
Okay.
Now, Kitty pulled out her iPhone and showed me a video correspondence with Richarlison DeAndre teaching him how to do the pigeon celebration after he scores goals.
She taught Richie how to do the pigeon dance.
You
Very
know,
cool.
I think she invented it. Yeah. Now, it looks like Kitty is definitely going with Spurs here, but in an odd turn as she picked against them a few weeks ago, but... I guess Kitty always picks the winners, not the teams.
Okay, so here's the thing, Mel. I'm going to give you a lot of credit because I wrote should instead of show, and you rolled right through that. But it wasn't a few weeks ago because it was this week. It was a few days ago.
Oh, it was a few days ago.
So,
well, time with you always feels much longer than it really does. Kind of like this song and this whole bit. So I'm just going to go ahead and tell everybody to gamble legally and responsibly.
Championship Corner!
I've fallen and I can't get up.
Oh, no.
I do want to say that even though she's lost a lot, the chicken is still better than us.
The chicken's won. One. How many of you and I won? 0.
She's still better than us. God damn it. I only want to beat the chicken. All right, so the championship did have midweek games this week. Norwich City doing their best to get one more television contract, beating Birmingham City 2-1. Old sausage rolls again for the team in disappointment there.
They started 0-2, and at the bottom of the table, newsflash, you're going to get to it. They in fucking second now. They have won 4 and drew 1 since.
Exactly. And I know Steve Bruce doesn't coach Birmingham anymore, but typically when Steve Bruce shows up after a loss, that tradition continues. We all go for sausage rolls down the old Tesco. Burnley, 2-0 over Millwall, which is pretty wild. Luton finally getting something going there, 2-1 over Cardiff after being in the playoff places last season. QPR, 3-1 over Hull, continuing their stride. Sheffield United scoring goals again, 4-0 over Reading after Reading had won over the weekend. Wigan and West Brom, 1-1. Sorry, guys, no sausage rolls for that. Watford and Borough. Watford, 2-1 winners yet again on Wednesday. We rolled into Bristol City over at Huddersfield, who was another playoff contender last season, 2-0. Preston North End beating Coventry 1-0. Stoke and Swansea to a 1-1 draw. Sunderland, a 3-0 win over Rotherham. So the two Rotherham was promoted as well, right? Two promoted sides, and Sunderland got the better of them there. And then Blackburn continued on their good form, 1-0 over Blackpool. That gives us your standings, which, of course, in the championship, there's still 16,482 games left to play. So no one gives a shit yet. But I'm going to read it out anyway. Sheffield United, 14 points, sit top of the league. Norwich, 13 points in second. Burnley has dropped to third on 12, tied with Watford in fourth, but have a better goal differential. Blackburn Rovers also on 12 points, as are Reading. They are the only two teams in the top six with a negative goal. The top 10 with a negative goal differential. But they win 1-0 and then they lose their other games by more. Looks like how it's been going for them. And then we jumped down to a few others. West Brom firmly in 14th. They'll probably stay there for the entire season.
That's how they roll.
Because Steve Bruce.
Yep.
You've got Preston North End in 10th, QPR in 9th, Sunderland in 8th, so they're kind of rolling a little bit, Sunderland here. Let's see if they can get up around the playoff places. That'd be nice to see them back in the Premier League at some point, so we can make fun of them, essentially.
I need some Tyne wear right in my fucking veins, man, especially because Newcastle has a ton of money, and Sunderland loves to, for some no good reason, beat Newcastle all the time. So it'd just be brilliant. The oil money versus the little engine that can't. And somehow Sunderland wins 1-0. That'll make when that happens, Sam, the coverage of the game will be just you and I laughing. We'll be like, Sunderland 1, Newcastle 0. On to the next game. That's what it will be.
Right. Hashtag spoiler alert. It's just funny, man. I'd love to see it again. I think it'd be brilliant to have them back up just for a season. You got Blackpool, Stoke kind of middling down in the 15th and 16th there, respectively. Middlesbrough, another kind of classic club, they're in 20th, only on 6 points. They're not doing it. Millwall, again, we're around the playoff places. They're in 19th.
Yeah.
This is not fun. Birmingham, Huddersfield, and Coventry are down in the relegation places. Coventry looking a real bad way. 0-1-3. They're already 3 points back of Huddersfield and 5 points back from getting out of the relegation zone altogether. And they don't have a lot going for them.
Yeah. It's a look at the Prem
and even trouble. I think.
Look at the Prem and even Leicester get a win and you're out of the zone unless everybody else around you wins. Like all the way up to like
I worry
12th place
for Coventry
4
this
points.
season for real.
Yeah,
Coventry could be down in League One in a heartbeat,
and that's not good for them because that is a perennial championship side that could really.
Well,
really
also a heartbeat in the championship means you're alive because there's so many goddamn games that your heart is continuously beating. It's.
All righty. Well, that's going to wrap it up, boys and girls.
That worked better in my head.
That's, and I'm just, this is why I drive the bus. I'm trying to, hey, we're just going to pretend like that didn't happen. We're going to keep the old train rolling here. And I'm trying to
I like to call myself out because the internet likes to do that for me.
Well, don't worry. In about an hour, they'll have more than enough to call you out about. Sammy, any parting words?
Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang is a cunt.
There you go, because he's back in playing for Chelsea.
He's playing for Chelsea. The first time of asking 6 months after having his contract generously terminated. He went to Barcelona, scored a couple goals, had some fun in the town that he likes to be in when he's supposed to be at training, and then promptly signs for a bitter rival of ours.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Well, the good news is other than when he plays you, Chelsea is getting that exact same player that will be in Barcelona every weekend partying and not paying attention to training and keeping up and doing a good job. So he'll score the occasional odd or two goal. He is not the answer for Chelsea, even though they think.
Yeah, but he scored a lot of goals under Tuchel at Dortmund.
Yeah, but also I don't see him being motivated to play. I just don't.
That's fair. That's fair.
My little 2 cents to add to all of this, Sam, for my D-backs is coaching staffs and head coaches. Stay in your fucking technical areas. Stop being assholes. Turn around and celebrate with your fans. Turn around and celebrate with your coaches. Turn around and celebrate at the away end. This bit that all these coaches need to turn, look directly at the other coach and start fist pumping and laughing and doing. There has been scruffs. There's going to be a fight. There's going to be a fight soon enough, because just fucking stop it. And it's all fucking managers. I'd like to point this out and just say it's one person. Oh, it's Klopp running on the field. No, Conte was a fucking lunatic. Tuchel's a fucking lunatic. Fucking Howe was being an asshole in his coaching staff was being an asshole to Liverpool. Klopp and his fucking staff was being fucking shitheads back. Marsh was fucking pumping his fist at fucking Lampard's face when they scored their goal. Just fucking stop it. You all are supposed to be the adults in the fucking room. Act like it.
I have a counterpoint to that.
Sure.
Do more of it.
Because you live for
It's
that
funny.
shit.
It gives us material, and I enjoy it.
I'm glad I'm not the only one that's here for it. I'm like, oh, let's get it on.
That's yep.
I love it. I want a
dad.
coach to go out. I want a coach to get fired. Like, so for instance, we talked about this Tuesday for y'all listening, was if I was Scotty Parker on Sunday or whenever it was over the weekend,
Yes.
I'd have headbutted Klopp in the chest. I'd have known at 8-0 I was getting fired. And I would have headbutted Klopp in the chest.
Gone out swinging.
Yeah, fuck it. You're going to give me the red card? I'm going to murder somebody. You know what I mean? Like, I'm in. I'm doing it. It's fine.
All right. So that's going to do it here, even though we're going to come back in just a few moments. In the real world, we're going to go record injury time real quick, because that equals more time for Mr. Graham to continue drinking, so that Mr. Graham can then read a list that you all are going to hear about in just a second. If somebody wanted to find injury time, Sam, how do they go about doing it?
They can do it on patreon.com/DUFootballShow. Sign up to that one super gorgeous, huge $5 tier, and you can get 2 extra shows a week minimum, because this week there's 4 extra shows. You get our sound check, which is our actual sound check, and then you get injury time, which is our preview of the upcoming games. We talk about the side beers we've been drinking during the show, as well as our fantasy league, which is heating up, actually. A ton of fun there. And besides that, I do want to eat some humble pie, eat some crow, acknowledge the egg on my face real quick. There was a meme shared in DUFC on Facebook. And I'm a bit of a cunt this week because I called out all of the things wrong with the meme. Apparently, France also have an FC Brest. Oh. It's not just the Belarusian club. So Nice do play Brest, and the fixture reads nice Brest.
Right.
Not sure what's wrong with the other one, but at least one of them is spectacular.
Heard. Very good. All right, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back with the infamous Sam Graham transfer recap. We're back, boys and girls. We slipped away for a second and did a quick recording of injury time. Graham, since then, has finished a couple of beers. He's really putting down the Mai Tai. He's going to town on that. And if you listen to injury time, you will know that he's already right proper. How we doing over there, Mr. Graham?
Hello?
Hi, how you doing, stud?
Good.
Good. I like that. That's exactly where we need you to be. So, boys and girls, without further ado, I give you the 5th annual world famous Samuel Graham, as he's walking away from the computer, world famous Samuel Graham transfer drunken recap. Graham,
I got my vape in the toilet. Sorry.
Oh, good. Yeah, Graham, the floor is yours. Go to town, stud.
Arsenal have made some moves this summer.
Let's say Arsenal. You could say a word. Very well done.
Jesus
Yeah.
came to the club. We prayed and given ourselves to the good Lord. Marquinhos came in from Sao Paulo as well. Matt Turner from the New England Revolution for an undisclosed fee, probably because it was a tuna sandwich. Fabio Vieira came in from Porto for $34 million. Showed up with a boot on his left foot. He's left-footed. Now past the medical. Played yet for the club. Brilliant.
Bird.
Alexander Zinchenko from Manchester City. That's been an important signing, actually, so far. He's missed the last 2 games. They haven't officially listed him as injured, but I think it's important that we note that we haven't really played anyone of note yet.
Right.
So if he felt some tightness, fucking let him sit out. You know what I'm saying?
Heard.
We let a lot of players go. I'll just highlight a couple. Pablo Mari, thank God you're gone. Went to AC Monza. Never heard of him on a loan deal. Well done. Lucas Torreira went to Galatasaray on an undisclosed fee. I like him a lot, actually. Bert Leno obviously went to Fulham for £8 million. We actually got something for him. Matteo Guendouzi, we offloaded permanently to Marseille for $10 million. Good deal. Konstantinos Mavropanos, who we can't just fucking. I don't even want to get into it. He went to Stuttgart for 2.9. I think we signed him for 12. Some shit like that. But the funniest one, the one that I really want to get into, is Salah Eden Ulad Mahand. And one of the funniest memes I've ever seen was him, that player, standing there, and a player was like, they were entangled in a situation, and someone said, "This is what you say when Salah steps on your hand." Is Salah, oh, my hand. Which is funny. Daniel Ballard, who no one knows. Jordi Tutu, no one cares about. Zach Swanson, sounds like a American cartoon from the late 90s. Zach Swanson went to Portsmouth for an undisclosed, and then we loaned out Nuno Tavares, old crazy leg. Lacazette went to Lyon on a free transfer. Luigi Gaspar, I wonder if that's Edu's last name.
Okay.
Did he let his son go to Watford on a free?
I don't know.
Is
Maybe.
Edu that ruthless?
Maybe.
Crazy. Somebody that always pops up on FIFA for Arsenal, Mika Biret, went to RKC Waalwijk, whoever they are. Nobody cares about none of shit. Oh, Alex Kirk, we sent to Ayr United on loan. My family lives in Ayr, Scotland.
That's good. Keep it rolling there, stud. We're talking. We're reading lists.
I'm working. Oh, we sent Nicholas Pepe to Nice. Brest this weekend, apparently.
Uh-huh.
I know it's Nice. And then we sent here we go. Hector Bellerin went to Barcelona on a free, and Ainsley Maitland-Niles went to Southampton on loan.
Very good.
Which is interesting. Actually, probably a great pickup for them, to be honest. Aston Villa. Here we go. Diego Carlos came in from Sevilla for $26 million. Don't know what position he plays. Don't know what he's doing.
Central
Hasn't
defense.
featured yet for the club,
he has.
does he?
He's played. He's been starting every fucking match next to Mings. Yeah, he's the starting central defender.
That's interesting. I haven't heard his name yet. Anyway, Coutinho officially made his loan permanent for £17 million from Barcelona. Boubacar Kamara came in on a free from Marseille. Good. You take that Boubacar right down to the championship.
He's not doing nothing for him so far. So he's not doing anything for him so far. Don't pay attention to me. You keep going. I'm just going to chime in. You, eyes on the prize, stud. Read that list.
I tried to, and then you interrupted me. Robin Olsen from Roma came in. Rory Wilson came in from
interrupt you a ton, stud.
Rangers.
Just keep fucking reading.
Ludwig.
See, look at that. He's capable of doing it, boys and girls.
Came in from Sevilla. Leander Dendoncker came in from Wolves, obviously for a $13 million fee. And Jan Benderek came in from Southampton, just on loan, though, which is an interesting development, in my opinion. Didn't want to take the chance on Benderek. They, wow, that's disrespectful. Courtney House went to Watford on loan.
Yep.
It's kind of disrespectful, that. Kane Kessler Aiden went to Huddersfield on loan. Carney, hold on. Chukwuemeka went to Chelsea for $20 million.
Chukwuemeka.
The Brazilian Wesley went to Levante. Matt Target, obviously, we knew about. They loaned him and just made it official. Went $15 million. Trezeguet, whose actual name is not fucking Trezeguet, went to Trabzonspor for an undisclosed fee. Nobody else anyone gives a shit about, so we're just going to move on.
Yeah, El Ghazi went to PSV.
Who?
El Ghazi went to PSV, one of his original clubs.
Oh, Anwar El Ghazi. Yeah. Here he is.
Yeah. I said it, so we can keep it rolling.
Aaron Ramsey, not that one, also went to Norwich.
Yep.
Bournemouth. They've brought in Marcus Tavernier.
Mm-hmm.
If you're white.
Yeah, he scored.
Brought him in from Middlesbrough, rather.
He scored in the opener.
What?
He scored in the opener against Villa.
I never heard of him.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even remember that. We did a show on it. I don't know who that is.
I don't expect you to remember much right now there, stud. Keep reading the list.
Joe Rotwell went to came in from Blackburn on a free. Rot usually comes in for free, doesn't it? Ryan Fredericks from West Ham on a free. Neto from Barcelona for an undisclosed fee. Neto went to Bournemouth. Fuck off. Marco Sensei, Tennessee, came in from Feyenoord for an undisclosed fee. And Jack Steffens came in from Southampton on a loan. They got rid of a boatload of players you never heard of. Brentford brought in Aaron Hickey from Bologna for $18 million. Max Dickoff from Stockport Town on a free. Is that Paul Dickoff's son?
I do not know.
Think that's a very well-established last name.
Yeah. Well, get your dick on and keep reading the list.
Max Wilcock, Keane Lewis Potter, $20 million they spent on him.
Mm-hmm.
That's a Kyrese Lisby, who sounds like somebody Tegan goes to school with. Came in from Watford on a free transfer, and Thomas Strakosha came in from Lazio on a free as well. Ben Mee is probably the big one, and Matthias Jurgensen, who was unattached. So apparently, I had a chance to join Brentford because I was also unattached.
I think Carly would say otherwise.
She'd probably ship me off in a heartbeat.
Forgive us, everybody. Sam needs to take a quick little drink. In fact, he is finishing the Mai Tai. Yes, the Mai Tai is now fully drank. Attaboy. Only 16 more clubs to go.
I don't remember where it was.
You were on Brentford there, stud.
No, the list. I don't remember the player. Who's the last player I said?
Dick off.
Oh, Dick off. I don't even see Dick off on the list. Did I punch the board? I didn't say Dick off last, you cunt.
Okay, who'd you say last?
Don't know. Anyway, they're out.
Max
out.
Dickov. That was one you had asked. It's absolutely
Outward
one you
players.
would. Yeah. No, he was an inward player.
It was somebody unattached. It was Jorgensen.
Okay, very good.
Who was unattached because I made the joke that I could play for him then.
Yep, keep going, stud.
A lot of people left. Brentford. I'm just going to read the names then. Miles Pert Harris went to Forest Green. Tariq Fosu went to Stoke on loan. That sounds like a nice Japanese appetizer. Mads Bidstrup went to Nordsjælland on loan. And that sounds like something I'd like to happen to me in a massage parlor.
A Nordsjælland? Okay, got it.
No, I want a Mads Bidstrup.
A Mads Bidstrup, okay. Well, Mr. Graham, the only one that matters is Christian Eriksen. He left.
I know that.
Yeah.
But Paris Magama also went out. Ben Hockenhole, terrible last name. Gustav Mogensen, not Morganson, Mogensen, which is funny.
How about you make your way downtown? Walk fast.
There's a guy named Jacko. His last name is not Lantern, which is unfortunate. It is Jacko Oxenen left there. Never heard of him. Obviously, Christian Eriksen on a free transfer. Lewis Gordon, Max Haygarth, blah, 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 blah. Nobody else cares. There's also no jokes in their name. Brighton.
Making your way downtown. Talking fast. Read this list. You're a seagull. Go fuck yourself.
Okay. So Brighton brought in Billy Gilmore. If you don't want me to do the real thing, then I don't know why we didn't listen to my real suggestion of doing it on Monday.
Okay, well, keep it going there, stud. You're good. My job is to fuck with you while you read the list. Your job is try to concentrate and read the list.
Billy Gilmore came in, obviously. But the big weird one is Purvis Estupinen.
Oh, that's a name.
Yeah, and Purvis is in this country typically like an old white woman name.
Mm-hmm.
Like old money.
Mm-hmm.
But this is I think Colombian or Ecuadorian man whose name is Purvis.
What's the last name again?
Just funny.
What's the last name again?
Estupinen.
There you go. That's not bad. You're doing all right there, Mr. Graham.
I am Spanish. They let go of Matt Clark, Shane Duffy, Mark Cucurella, Yves Bissouma, Leo Ostegard, Cochran, Jason Lumby, Erlich, Neme. Sounds too much like enema.
Yeah.
Like you wanted it up the butt.
I was going to say, that looks like they lost a lot of players.
Ingra also left. Hayden Roberts, Cal Rushworth, Finn Talley, Tudor Luda, Why would you release them? He's part of the Tudors. You're gonna die. Lars Den Donker got released.
Mm-hmm.
Adam Dubois. These are some famous names. John Lucero. Wasn't he in a fucking Batman movie?
I don't know, Mr. Graham. You know better than I. We know you are the movie reference genius. Music reference, too.
Jamai Qureshi.
Jamai Sharona?
Tenenomo.
Heard.
That's how you pronounce it. I'm dead sure. Abdallah Depot Sema. I'm sure I know why he got loaned out. Fucking racist cunt. Taylor Richards. Sorry. Mark Leonard. Neil Mopay went to Everton. Undisclosed. There we go. There's an actual fucking deal.
Mm-hmm.
Finally, this list of shit. Crystal Palace. One of my favorite clubs to talk about.
Not
Only
Chelsea?
brought in 5 players.
Not Chelsea? I thought we go in alphabetical order there, stud. CH comes before CR.
I scrolled that fast.
You scrolled that fast?
I did scroll that fast. I did. Chelsea.
Yeah, like it was never a mess up.
Mark Cucurella for 60. Sam, can you do me a solid real quick?
Uh-huh.
Pull up your calculator.
Gotcha.
You ready?
Yep.
60
Uh-huh.
plus
Uh-huh.
47.5.
Okay, who was that?
Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Plus 33.
Okay.
Plus 20.
Okay.
Plus 16.8.
Uh-huh.
Plus 75.
Okay.
Plus 10.3.
262.6.
262.6 million pound on Mark Cucurella, Raheem Sterling. Eddie Beach came in. Not sure we're going to see him again. He came in from Southampton for an undisclosed fee, so it was not on that ticker. Kalidou Koulibaly came in from Napoli for 33, 2 years after multiple clubs were bidding £100 million on him. Omar Hutchinson came in for free. Nobody cares. Carney Chukwuemeka came in from Aston Villa for 20 million. Somebody never heard of that twat. Cesar Casadei.
Mm-hmm.
Never heard of him. Came in for 16.8. Wesley Fofana, obviously, 75 million. The fee they ended up dealing with, and fucking Barcelona made $10.3 million on Aubameyang after we just told them to piss off. Anyway, they also loaned out or sold a fair amount of players for a decent amount of profit.
Oh, you forgot they did get Zakaria. They got Zakaria from Juventus on loan as well.
7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27 players have either left Chelsea on loan or in permanent.
Tons of loans.
One of the
They love to loan people.
29. One of the funniest things I see on this list, though, is Andreas Christensen going to Barcelona, who are better than Chelsea run. They still suck, don't get me wrong, but they're better than Chelsea. He went there on a free.
Yep.
Well,
Drinkwater finally got released. You had Barkley finally got released. Like people they were just trying to unload that they couldn't unload. There's a couple of big ones. And of course, Billy Gilmore went out on a permanent, but a lot of what they do, it just tends to be loans. They do it every year, right, Sammy?
They do. Absolutely. And Palace have brought in 5 players. Malcolm Abwai, Sam Johnston, Sheikh Decore, and Kofor Balma came in to Palace. Let a boatload of fucking players go, but I don't see an actual name.
Heard about Chris Richards. They brought him in too.
Aiden Steele.
Yeah, looks like a
Maybe I don't know.
lot of releases and some loans out there.
Everton had a fair few signings. Connor Cody came in on loan. Amadou Onana, what's my name? Came in from Lille for £33.5 million fucking pounds. Jesus Christ. It's a lot of money to spend on that person. Ruben Vinagre Mel is what his name is. The only one I'll probably get
fucking right. Tonight.
Came in from Sporting Lisbon on loan. I don't even know what position he actually plays.
Left wing back. Left wing back.
Nice. Mikolenko's counting his days. James Tarkovsky came in from Burnley on a free. Dwight McNeil, obviously. Neil Mopay. Undisclosed because Everton are running a financial fair play fucking magic Aladdin.
Somewhere around 10 million. Somewhere around 10 million.
Yeah, supposedly, but it was undisclosed, so you don't know, do you? Idrissa Gueye came back to the club from PSG in his unsuccessful jaunt for £8 million. And James Garner, whoever the fuck that is.
It was really $2 million. $2 million
came
plus
in from
add-ons.
Manchester United for $15 million.
Yep, there we go.
I don't even know who that is.
James Gardner, a youth player who didn't really get any. He got a couple of runouts with United, but was at Forest and helped Forest get promoted last year. Good young box-to-box midfielder.
Nathan Broadhead got released. Obviously, Richarlison left. Reece Hughes, John Joe Kenny went to Hertha Berlin. Well, that's a weird choice. Cheng Tosun to Besiktas. That makes sense. Harry Tyrer.
Yep.
Went to Chester FC. João Virginia went to Canberra.
Yep.
Online, I don't know who that is. Fabian Delph is gone.
Yep.
That's a shame.
He was just too expensive.
Rafael Garcia gone. Just fuck off, mate. Sebastian Christensen, Harry Hagen, Andy Lonergan, gone. Just everyone fucking gone.
Most of these are loans.
Patrick Nash, Gylfi Sigurdsson. Well, obviously, he's in fucking jail, mate.
No, he's playing he's playing in Turkey. He's playing for Galatasaray. He is not in jail. Gylfi is not in jail.
What?
He's not in jail.
No, I heard the words. I'm trying to make them make sense.
Right. Well, he's not in jail, so keep it rolling. Your job is to read a list. It's not to make sense of anything, Graham.
Jack Stewart, whoever that is now gone. Ryan Astley
Mm-hmm.
went to Accrington on loan. Stanley, maybe that had something to do with it. Ellis Sims went to Sunderland. Lewis Dobbin. Dele Alli went to Besiktas. Jean-Philippe Baumann went to Trabzonspor.
Yep.
You're just shipping off a load of cunts.
And apparently also Andres Gomez has been loaned out to Lille as well.
Yeah, I see that here. And Lewis Warrington went to Fleetwood.
Mm-hmm.
Problem is, there's no more Joey Barton, so what the fuck are you going to learn?
Fleetwood's just up the road. They're close to
Fulham! They brought in Shane Duffy from Brighton on loan. Bird Leno, obviously, from Arsenal for $8 million. Callum McFarlane from Bakersfield College. All right. From Bakersfield College, Bradfield College, or Premier League. Gonna make the jump. Makes sense.
Yeah.
João Paulinho they brought in, obviously from Sporting for 20 mil. Andreas Pereira from Manchester United for 10 million. Christian Sekularek came in from Juventus on a free. Never heard of him. Maynor Salomon came in from Shakhtar Donetsk. Kevin Babu from Wolfsburg. Issa Diop from West Ham. Willian from Corinthians on the old free transfer. A former Arsenal player again showing up at the at Stamford Bridge. It's a blah blah. Dan James came from Leeds on loan. They let go Fabio Carvalho to Liverpool, who just scored the winner. Maybe should have kept him.
Did you say Carlos Vinicius came in as well? He came in too.
Not yet.
From Benfica. Well, you were talking about the loan out, so I thought you were already going to players out. Vinicius came in today.
Vinicius.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
All
right. So who's gone? You said Carvalho?
Carvalho went to Liverpool, just scored the fucking winner against them. That's a very Newcastle thing to do.
Except for he played for Fulham. Sam's now drinking more beer. Oh, that sip went down hard.
Fulham?
Carvalho played for Fulham, and you said it was a very Newcastle thing to do. You're confusing your black and white teams there, Sammy. Keep reading the list. Come on. Let's keep it going.
Well, now I'm trying to find where it was on the list. Here we go. Fabio Carvalho. Oh, yeah, from Fulham, right? Fuck. Andre Frank Zambo and Guisa is no longer smoothing out the ice on the Newcastle Ice Arena. Zambroni.
Right.
Same thing.
Again, not the Newcastle
He came
Ice
in
Arena.
from Napoli. John
Arena.
Michael Seri came in from Hull City. God, his career is falling apart. Jesus fucking Christ. Oh, these are people that have left.
Yes.
Never mind. He left to go to Hull City. Even still, that's a terrible move. I don't appreciate it. Rodrigo Munez, he's in the next upcoming film with the, what's her name, about something. Frankie Munez is the joke there. Timmy Abraham, possibly related to Tammy.
Timmy. Keep reading
Most parents of kids with similar names are just cunts. But he went to Estoril, on a free transfer, so I assume he's not very good.
Oh, you don't say. Keep it going,
Ashby Hammond. Interesting. I might be related to this guy. Went to Stevenage online. Kieran, Sonny. Well, his last name's Hilton. That might be something. Steven Sessignon, Jacob Allen. Nobody cares. Julian, there's a ton of Jillians here. It's wild. All right, Leeds. They brought in 1, 2, 3, 4, 8 players. Joe Robles, Tyler Adams, obviously from Leipzig. Brennan Aronson, you'll be familiar with, is American as well, just like Tyler. $24.7 million from Redbird, Salzburg. Darko Diaby, Rasmus Christensen, Marco Roca, Luis Instiada, Sonny Perkins. I feel like you're in trouble. We got Rafael Noto didn't go through. Where is he back yet?
Yeah, he's back. He just had to go pee.
Read the list, stud. Read the list, stud.
Oh, look who came in without hitting their own mute button.
Now. Come on, you can do it.
All right. Rafinha went to Barcelona finally for $55 million. I don't think they're going to be able to register him. It is what it is. Calvin Phillips obviously gone $50 million. So there's 105. Dan James went to Fulham, probably 107.5.
You all right there, Keller?
Oh yeah, I was waiting to be back.
Just please keep reading, buddy. I'm just I was just turning on the power to keep my computer going because it's at 10% battery there, stud. Keep reading the list. You don't worry about me, worry about you.
Third pause.
You would see
I read leads.
there is yes, you have read leads.
All right, nobody else past who I talked about matters at all. So. Leicester, they only brought in Alexis Smithies.
Mm-hmm.
I want to pronounce smoothies.
And then they brought in a great name. You got this one? There's one other. Now listen to this name. You don't have it on your list? Who they brought in from Reims? Wout, W-O-U-T, Faes, F-A-E-S. Wout Faes. Sounds like about face, doesn't it? It's a pretty fucking fabulous name.
It sounds like a lot of things, to be honest with you.
Uh-huh. All right, kid, who's gone from Leicester? We're losing him, Mel. He's fading back and falling through. And
Leicester, Alexis Smithies came in from Cardiff. About Face came in from Rem and France. You're going to about face on his career here in a bit.
Heard.
Hamza Chowdhury went to Watford. Kasper Schmeichel went to Nice. About to play Brest. Fancying both, to be honest. I forgot where it was. Schmeichel. Vuntai Dolly Campbell is in Cardiff for free for some reason. Tyree Shade, Will Russ. I don't even know who these cunts are.
The big one would be Wesley Fofana. That's definitely the case. I'll help you out there. I'll give you the assist there, stud. You're drinking. That's important. You need to keep drinking your beer there. So why don't you go ahead and tell us about Liverpool, who all they bring in?
Calvin Ramsey from Aberdeen. Darwin Nunez from Benfica, $85 fucking million. Million pound, rather. Fabio Carvalho from Fulham.
It's already got a couple goals. He's doing great.
That'll be a coup. And Archer Mello came in from Juventus on loan.
I do find it very hysterical that they wanted a midfielder, so they brought in an injured midfielder.
Yeah.
to go along with
Tyler
their
Moore,
bevy
Ben
of
Davies,
other injured
Reece
midfielders.
Williams, Owen Beck, Nico Williams, Divock Origi, Loris Karius, Shea Oju, Ben Woodburn, Elijah Dixon, Boner, Lewis Longstaffy,
Minamino, that's a big name that's gone from them. Reese Williams got loaned to Blackpool.
Yeah.
Sepp Vandenberg, who they brought in, they automatically loaned him out to Schalke. That's a big one.
Correct.
Yeah, other than that, Nico Williams, they lost to Nottingham Forest. Why don't you go ahead and get into Manchester City there, stud? I'll help you with the outs. You handle the ins, okay?
Erling Haaland, obviously, is the big one.
It is paid off immediate dividends.
Yeah, big time. Top scorer in the league so far. Stefan Ortega, Calvin Phillips, Sergio Gomez, and Manuel Agnaggi.
Agnaggi was today to help them with the central defense problems.
Akanji.
Yep. Apparently Swiss.
All right.
On the outs, Fernandinho finally retired, I believe. Well, he got released, but I believe he retired as well. Gabriel Jesus, of course, is gone. Raheem Sterling. Zach Steffen went to loan at Middlesbrough, where I don't even think he's starting, which sucks. Zinchenko, of course, went to Arsenal. And that's really it on the big names. That's it on the big names there. So why don't you go ahead and get into Manchester United, Sammy? Want to let you boys and girls know he's having a hard time even focusing. You could see the sweat glistening on his arms. He is that hammer timed. You got it, Sammy? We're almost there.
We're talking about United, right?
Yep, Man United. Who's coming in?
Casemiro is a big one, obviously. The Night of Living Dead and Christian Eriksen came in for free because who would pay for a fucking zombie? Lisandro Martinez came in for a big fee. Tyrone Malacia came in for a decent-sized fee.
He's been a nice
Eric Bailly
addition.
got fucked off. Alex Tellez got fucked off. Paul Pogba fucked off. Juan Mata fucked off. Jesse Lingard fucked off. Nemanja Matic went to Rome on a free transfer. Edison Cavani got fucked off and told to leave on a free. I can't believe they just ruined these contracts.
They loan out.
These are important fucking people here.
They loaned out. They did loan out Dean Henderson, but then loan in Martin Dubravka.
Yeah, and that's a big deal with Leicester.
Mm-hmm.
Why would you not go for one of or the other of these two cunts?
Apparently, they got faith in Ward. That's who they're going to stick with. And then, of course, James Gardner went to Everton.
Doesn't show that.
All right,
and
kid.
If Big Sam has a feeling, quote unquote, fucking run from it.
Right. All right, you ready to read off Newcastle? We're right down the home stretch, buddy. We're almost there. You can do it.
Matt Tarjay, Nick Pope, Steve Botfly, MacArthur from Kilmarnock. Who the fuck is that? And Alexander Isak, obviously.
Yep, very big one.
Let go Kieran Clark, Jake Turner, Jack Young, Oishin.
Yeah, you got Isaac, Dwight Gale, and Isaac Hayden. They got rid of both of them, too.
Mohamed Sanagre. It's not showing me everything on the app here.
All right. Well, Mr. Graham.
Oh.
Here, Mr. Graham. This is going to be a big one. I need you to hunker down. Get yourself ready. Play with your hair. Get yourself focused. I don't even want you to read the outs because it's just a bunch of players that they had loaned in last year that helped get them promoted. They have literally changed their entire fucking team. Sam, please read off the 23 people that Nottingham Forest has brought in since promotion. They have spent the same amount of money as Chelsea fucking did.
Okay. It's a long list, you cunt.
Mm-hmm. It is. That's, buddy, that's why I'm trying to help you here.
Morton Gibbs White. Remo Flurler. Chikute Emil Dennis. Orel Mangala. Maybe they'll. Oh, cunt. Fuck.
Come on, you got this. Keep it going, stud.
I'm trying to find everybody else to golf game. Shit, I have nothing to talk here.
You can't read the list? No? Okay, I've got nothing to talk here, Mel. That's what he just said. All right, so we have Ryan Hammond, Teo Anoe, Dean Henderson, Julian Binacone, Musa Nikate, Omar Richards, Nico Williams, Wayne Hennessy, Brandon Grelia, Harry Tufalo, Lewis O'Brien, Jesse Lingard, Orel Mangala, Emmanuel Dennis, Chietu Coyote, Remo Fueler, Morgan Gibbs White, Huang Yuzhou, Renan Loney, and then today they got the Willie. They have Willie Bolly, Josh Bowler, and Luca Bade from Olympiacos. So they got everybody. They did do a lot of releases, but most of these, as I mentioned before, these are guys who just kind of basically help get them up in the league. Sammy, can you handle the next? We're to Southampton. All we got left is Southampton, Tottenham, West Ham, and Wolves. Can you do it? Huh? Can you do it, Sammy?
Wolves has no natural predators.
Okay. Well, Wolves have no natural predators. That's true, but we're on Southampton.
Oh.
And you don't need to worry about the outs. I've got the outs for you.
That might be the show title. Wolves have no natural predators.
Yes, that might be the show title. I in fact, Mel, executive decision, that is the show title.
You want stuff for Leicester?
Sam, we're on Southampton. Can you read Southampton's list?
Oh. That's a lot further away. Armel Bell, Kuchnap.
Mm-hmm.
Kuchnap. I like it better as Kuchnap. I was just trying to do a little pinchy.
Uh-huh. Keep it going.
Lavia, obviously, we talked about Romeo.
Mm-hmm.
Joe.
Aribo, yeah.
Mara. No, nobody gives a shit about anything you've done. It's all undisclosed fees.
Ashley Nathan Miles, that's a good one. They did lose Fraser Foster. They lost Shane Long, finally released. Of course, they did lose Oriol Romeu today. They sent him on, and Jack Stevens as well. So they're clearly making a move to a younger side. Sammy, I'm going to help you out here. You're looking really rough, buddy, okay? Mel, should I tap myself in for Mr. Graham here? We got to get through this. We do have a first. Mr. Graham is that hammered. He cannot finish the list. Tottenham. Ivan Perisic comes in on the free. Fraser Foster comes over from Southampton. Yves Bissouma, Richarlison, and along with that, Christian Romero as well. And that's Clement Legend. That's really about it for them. On the outs, not a ton. I know that Harry Winks eventually got loaned. Steven Bergwijn got moved on, but a lot of the rest of it is younger players that got released. West Ham. Naif Argard, Alphonse Areola, Pat is now on a free. He was loaned last year. He's finally there permanent. Patrick Kelly, Flynn Downs, Gina Luca Samakia for up top, Maxwell Cornet, Thalo Kara, who so far has done a penalty, given up a penalty, and also scored an own goal. And then, of course, Emerson and Lucas Paqueta today that they got at the end. The really big notable one ultimately for West Ham, obviously Ryan Fredericks is gone and David Martin got released, but Mark Noble retired from the game and he is a kick-ass player. Wolverhampton, odd, did not bring in as much as they let go, and they were already a pretty thin team as it was. Nathan Collins has come in and slid right into being one of the starting defenders now. Giancarlo Guedes from Valencia, Mateus Nunez, who's been an immediate impact, and then they did pick up a striker from Stuttgart, Sasha Kaladiznik. Now, the outgoings. Sammy, are you with me? Are you there? Sammy, did you pass out on us? Boys and girls, Sam Graham has passed out on us. Mel, you're going to have to help me finish this one.
I wish. Can we get a screenshot of this? Graham. Oh my God, he's snoring.
This is brilliant.
He's snoring.
Okay, Mel, this is kind of worth it, all right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so let's finish out.
Oh, there we go. I got a screenshot.
You got a screenshot? I love it. Let's finish out the transfers. It's just the outgoings for Wolves, and then we are done, young lady.
And then we're just gonna leave him there. Do you want me to text Carly?
We're gonna ring his phone and wake him up.
Do we have any responsibility to this?
We do. The big moves is Connor Cody's gone, Morgan Gibbs White is gone, Willie Bolly is gone, Leonard Dendecker is gone, Roman Sayis is gone. And those were all pretty darn important players to their lineup, but they did keep Nieves and Nieto, which are key for them. And Mel, that is going to wrap up the drunken transfer recap, because it's not just drunken.
Oh my God.
It is past the motherfuck out recap.
We are almost at 4 hours of recording. Can we go to bed now?
Let's go to bed. Boys and girls, this has been a show. That's for damn sure.
All right, just shh. I just want to silence our mics for a second.
Until next week, everybody.
Born in the land of Bowie, Maryland. Bred to be a fan of fucking Everton. Punch you in the eye and drink your rye. Sam Houston.
Sam Houston?
Arsenal fans have another Sam. AKA the fucking Gooner Graham. Snub of my lord. Look straight in shorts. Sam Graham, hey.
Sam Graham.
Brooklyn United! Brooklyn United! Hit the fucking mute button!